My name is Jon Slania. I work with Federated Insurance. I'm the district marketing manager and then also the hiring manager for the company here in Southern California. So Federated Insurance does a multitude of things. First and foremost, we do business-to-business insurance for a select number of industries. We're one of the largest insurer of auto dealers across the country, petroleum, contractors, manufacturing, wholesale retail operations, and then we're also pretty involved on also the life insurance side of things, more structuring buy-sell agreements between two owners, and then we're also involved on performance and bid bonds for contractors. Are a couple things that we do. We also specialize in risk management programs for a lot of these businesses and work hand in hand with the owners on that. We have quite a few different majors that come into play with Federated. One thing we do ask for is a college degree in that situation, but then we go and we onboard with a training program that's about 7 months long. That training program is broken up into 3 different phases. What we always say is you're getting your master's in business insurance. You learn about the industries that we serve. You learn about the policy languages and the policies that we provide. And then finally, you actually go out, you do some sales competitions between you and your colleagues. And then after that, you service actual accounts before you're then given your own territory. Or we're looking for, honestly, the right fit in that situation. It's a very challenging industry. It's pretty interesting. The average tenure that we're competing against each and every day, a lot of these people have been in the business for over 15, 20 years. So we're looking for a young professional to come in that's going to be well-equipped, well-trained, to then come in and be able to compete against those individuals with extensive experience, extensive relationships with those owners. So we need someone that can build relationships with owners, that are fearless and relentless, and are willing to take on a challenge. It's definitely a challenging role, but also very rewarding at the same time. Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you're looking at a day-to-day interaction with customers and you're working with the customer base that we're working with, which majority of the time are high net worth individuals that own several different properties, several different, businesses in that situation. There's some questions that are asked to you that you got to be able to think right on the fly with. If you don't, you can get in some uncomfortable situations, which I think, in a sales role or a sales program, you're setting yourself up for those uncomfortable situations. No matter how good you are, you're going to have issues, you're going to have concerns, you're going to have setbacks. But the more that you can go through that, the more you can develop those skill sets to be better prepared the next time. So being able to go through that in the college ranks is huge. Obviously, with our program as well, there's a 5-week, 6-week, basically sales competition in that situation that's all tiered out. We do that for that exact same situation to make sure that we have you tailored in, because you're going to get in some situations that you might not know the answer or you might be stumped. And you got to be able to take that, be able to get the information, then return it back to that client or prospect. No, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Even in our sales training development program, there's plenty of people that went 0 for 7 or whatever it was and turn out to be some of the best reps in the entire company. Actually, one of my good friends within the company, same deal. He's one of the best reps in the company. He had some struggles early on with product knowledge and some issues on the sales competition. He's learned from that. He's got a kind of chip on his shoulder, and he's taken that into his career, which has allowed him to have tremendous success. Yeah, so the application process is pretty unique. So I don't go out hiring 40, 50 different individuals. There's me and then one other individual that have 10 representatives. We have 20 representatives across Southern California that serve our clients down here. And basically it's reaching out to one of me or the other district marketing manager. We go through the interview process. It's actually quite extensive. I mean, it goes from riding with some of our representatives to get a day in the life, an interview with myself, an interview with my manager, an interview with my manager's manager in that situation, just to go through the process. So again, it's pretty extensive. but at the same time, it comes from more of just reaching out to me. We meet in person, we do some interviews, we work through the process. But yeah, as far as the application process, it comes down to more of getting in communication with me, and when I'm on campus, being able to meet. The best thing to have prepared, whether it's a resume, is always a good thing to kind of start with, to kind of understand, hey, this is kind of where you're at and where you want to move. The one thing that we really like is kind of like an accomplishments book. So something that maybe you've put together that shows you some of the accomplishments you've had over the years. Again, we're in a very competitive state of mind, and a lot of our things are driven off of, hey, how much success have you had against your peers in certain situations? What type of creativity? What can you bring a little bit different than someone else in that same role? Getting some of that creativity of what you've accomplished over those years, whether it's from a leadership role all the way down to, hey, this is what I did back in high school or something like that. We're not looking for 15 years worth of insurance sales experience. We would rather have someone that has the intangible skills that we can then develop into a professional within our organization. Everything sales. It's so interesting, working with so many of these business owners and working with, no matter what it is, you're always selling yourself. I mean, if you're an accountant and you get in and you're working for a good firm and you're crushing it and you want to move up as a promotion, you got to sell yourself to that, whatever that manager is, to move you up. If you go out and start your own practice, you're selling every single day to try to get people in there to, for you to work with, whether those are businesses, whether those are people, whatever that situation is. So it's pretty interesting. Sales kind of gets a bad gig early on, but all business owners are salespeople. Anyone that works for a business and wants to continue to work their way up the ladder, they're selling themselves each and every day. Relationships, you're trying to sell yourself to your significant other, whatever it is, you gotta be able to sell relationships each and every day and be able to have that skill set, because that's what sets you up in life. Get into an organization and really feel like that's going to be your organization for the next 20 to 30 years. From what I've seen, still young in this tenure of being with Federated for just over 5 years now, I have a lot of individuals that were in sales at the same time as me, and they jumped from one company to the next, but they never were settled in. So I think sometimes get in with an organization that you like, figure out, what is the upward mobility of that organization? Is that fit what you want? If it does, stick there for a while and do everything you can to build that organization. If there's a better opportunity that comes up, always understand that there's, grass is not always greener on the other end. Make sure that you think through a couple of these situations, because, if you're with the right organization, you're with the right company, they could take care of you for, the next 20 to 30 years. So don't always be so quick to jump, but also understand you got to start from the ground up and really prove yourself in that introductory role before you can get everything that you want. So